Om. 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 Om Bhadram Karnevi Shrunuyama Deva Bhadram Pashyemakshabhirya Jatra Sirairangai Stushtvagum Sastanubhi Veshema Devahitayadayu Swasti na Indro Vruddashrava Swasti na Pusha Vishvaveda Swasti nastarsho arishtademi Swasti no Brihaspati Dadatu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Mundakopanishad, third Mundaka, second Khanda, mantra 3. Nayamatma pravachanena labhya, na vedhaya, na bahuna shrutena, yam eva esha vrunute tena labhya, tasyaisha atma vivrunute tanum swam. The one who has taken to what is called as technically Atma Varana. Atma Varana means total commitment to the pursuit of gaining Atma Dhyana to the exclusion of all other accomplishments. First and foremost priority in life is gaining Atma Dhyana. It is not a part-time pursuit. It is a full-time pursuit. No other pursuits have got any value except minimum things that are required to keep the body going on in good condition. So in this way, the one who totally opts Atma, totally commits the pursuit of gaining Atma Dhyana, by that person only Atma Dhyana can be gained. We have seen this in detail. And to that person, Atma as if reveals one's Sarupa. In this context, we have seen the same mantra appears in Kathopanishad 1, 2, 23. First chapter, second Valli, mantra 23. Immediately after that, in Katha, there is a mantra which highlights the necessity of living a life totally committed to the dharma. A dharma acharana should not be taken to. One should totally live by the life of dharma if one has to gain the Atma Dhyana, because anything short of it deprives that disposition of the mind which is indispensable to gain Atma Dhyana. Last time we have seen in some aspect, let us see in detail now. There it is said Navirato dushtarita, nashanto, na samahit, na samahita, nashanta manaso vapi, pradnyanena, enam apnaya. Who all cannot gain Atmadhyana. Number one, Dushtarita na avirta. The person who has not withdrawn oneself from Dushtarita. Dushtarita means bad conduct. It is in terms of Kayika Papa. Since Papa taken to at the bodily level, hurting others and all these things. So one who has not withdrawn from such these things cannot gain this Atmadhyana. Na avirtaha dushra. Na ashantaha. A person who is so much engrossed in the sense object Vishayas, he is the slave of senses. As a result, the Indriyas are always hankering from sense pleasure. What is called as Indriya Laulya. Repeated hankering of the senses, sense organs and organs of action for their corresponding Vishayas that one who has not conquered, one is a slave of these senses. Such person cannot gain the Atmadhyana, Brahmadhyana. Then, na asamahita. Samahita means a person with composed mind. Because single pointedness. Asamahita means the one whose mind is scattered in thousand things. What is called as anekagramana, na ekagramana. So, in other words, it means vikshipta chitta, the one whose mind is highly agitated. Vikshipta chitta. So the asamahita. Na shanta manasapi. Na ashanta manasapi. This person has got samahita chitta. He has got ekagrata, single point of the mind. For example, this person can be upasaka. If you are doing upasana of some deity, etc. And yet, the mind is always engrossed in the results thereof. The phala of such upasana. As a result, mind is always in the turmoil. For example, Ravana. Ravana is not an ordinary person. He is a great devotee of Shiva. He is a great upasaka of Shiva. And yet, one kama, desire, ruined him. The mind is always this because of the desire. So therefore, na shanta manasa. Because of such conduct, one deprives oneself the opportunity to gain the Atmadhyana, Brahmadhyana. Who can gain that knowledge? Pradnyanena enam apnuyat. Apnuyat, one should gain means one gains this Atma. By what? Pradnyanena. Pradnyana here means Brahma Vijnana, Brahma Sakshatkar. The mind which is so absorbed in the Atma Sarupa, Brahma Sarupa, Chaitanya and Chaitanya alone, even without the Triputi, the subject-object relationship. Pramata, Prameya is not the Pramana Vritti. The Vritti which was corresponding to Atma Sarupa has also done its job and dropped down. All that is there only Chinmatra, free from even the least trace of any Vishaya, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Not even objectification. That state of mind wherein it is just Chit and Chit alone, Chaitanya and Chaitanya alone. That is Brahma Sakshatkara, wherein you are aware of your Swarupa as it is, even without the last trace of I know Brahman. Even that I know Brahman, I stems forth from your identity in the body, which is not the feature of Brahma at all. That also has dropped down a state of Abheda, Nirvikalpa, all that is there only Chaitanya and Chaitanya alone. So therefore, so this prajnanena enam apaya. Now further, certain auxiliary means, sakari sadhanani, auxiliary means in gaining Atma Prapti or in gaining Atma Jnana. Next mantra. Nayamatma balahinena labhya. Nacha pramada tapasaha vapi alinga. Etaihi upayaihi yatate yastu vidvan. Tasya esha atma vishate brahma dhama. Ayamatma balahinena nalabhya. Bala means literally strength. One who has no strength, one is not strong, cannot gain up. What strength is it? Is it physical strength? No. Of course, bare minimum strength of the body must be there, required for taking to the pursuit. This doesn't mean that a very strong person physically is the one who is eligible for this. No. Here we should know the word bala, strength. What exactly it is? It is the strength of taking to Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, to the exclusion of taking to other pursuits. That is the strength. Means the person is not overpowered by, not defeated by other preoccupations in terms of worldly accomplishment. He is not overpowered by the demand for self-pleasure, total commitment is pursuit of gaining Atma-jnana, brushing aside one's preoccupation in the worldly gains. It needs lot of vairagya. The mind need to be convinced, and the mind has to discover that Vishayas, sense objects, sense pleasures, truly do not have any capacity on their own to make me happy and contented. Happiness is not the intrinsic feature of sense object Vishayas. This the person has to discover for oneself. Otherwise, the mind runs after the Vishayas all the time with the vague hope that perhaps I will get happiness from sense indulgence, sense pleasure, Vishaya Bhoga. So here is a person who has got that Bala. He is no more Balahina, because Balahina, one who doesn't have the such strength, cannot gain Atma-jnana. So here that steadfastness in Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, and the mind no more runs after the sense pleasure. This is the Bala. In Mundakopanishad, Bala is defined like this. By Atma Vidya, by gaining a knowledge of Atma Swarupa, one discards totally the antakarana vrittis, thoughts related to Vishayas, sense pleasures. His mind is so preoccupied in the Swarupa, true nature of Atma, so that it has no occasion to run after the Vishayas. That is the strength, true strength. Right about turn from sense pleasures. Earlier, the mind was totally preoccupied in the sense pleasures, Vishaya Bhoga. Now it is so preoccupied in the Paramananda Swarupa Atma. It is totally discarded. In fact, we can't say discarded. That mind has dropped its interest in Vishayas. Just when you had a sumptuous dinner, the daily dal roti from the house doesn't mean much. So in contrast with Paramananda Swarupa, which is independent, which is one Swarupa, the tinsels of sense pleasure dependent on Vishayas, body, etc., have no relevance. So that is that Bala. So one who doesn't have the strength cannot gain the Atma Jnana or cannot gain Atma. Na pramada. Pramada means inadvertence, characterized by fall from, deviation from gaining Atma Jnana or making the mind absorbed in the Atma Swarup. So it is possible such mistakes, inadvertence possible because of our preoccupation in the worldly things. Bhashikara says, Laukika Putra Pashvadi Vishaya Sangha Nimitta Pramada. Inadvertence on account of Sangha, attachment, Preeti, love toward worldly things like Putra, Prajani, Pashu for wealth, name, fame, and all those things. That value, taste for worldly things. So that's pramada, mistake, inadvertence. So if that is there, it's not possible. Tapasa, alingat tapasa. Tapas here means jnana. We find in Puranas, etc., so and so did tapas. Brahmaji did tapas. It's jnana. So here, that jnana, suppose, it comes in the Bhagavata. Brahmaji had to, Brahma was not Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. He had to carry out, effect the secondary creation. Secondary means primary creation of Panchamahamudasa is already over by Parameshwar. Secondary creation of the Jiva Srishti. Jiva Sacha, according to the Karmaphala. He had to do that, and he was about to do, in spite of the best of the effort. He could not know how it can be done. He heard the word tapa, tapa, tapa. Tapa means take to tapas. Take to tapas. Take to tapas. He looks around. No one is there. In fact, it's the Vishnu who had said that. Then he takes to tapas. What tapas? Withdraws the mind from its preoccupation in the things around. It's just like, you see, suppose you want to take an important decision. Your mind is wavering. Should I do this way or that way? What do you do? Generally, you withdraw yourself, go to a quiet place, sit there, just see the pros and cons. You are withdrawing from the external world. Like that, Brahmaji totally withdrew from the entire world around for years together. There, the knowledge of past creation dawned to him. In his case, the jnana was the knowledge of past creation, how it is done. Even Ishvara, Satapo Tapyata Tapas Tattva Idagam Sarvam Asurjata. That knowledge tap also means knowledge. Alochane. So here, jnana, what type of jnana is? Alinga. So that is jnana without linga. What is linga here? Linga here is sannyasa. Knowledge gained without sannyasa is called tapas, which is without linga. The question is, what is sannyas? The word itself shows samyak nyasa. Nyasa is tyaga, giving up. And that also samyak, thoroughly giving up of what? Of what is called as everything. Thoroughly giving up of all things which left to ourselves we are interested in. Left to ourselves we are interested in for our sense pleasure, vishaya bhoga. Among that, the most important thing is what is called as swatva abhimana, the notion of mindness. This belongs to me. This is mine. This is what an indispensable feature of sannyasa. It is also called as antara sannyasa. Antara sannyasa means inner sannyasa. Giving up at the subjective level, not at objective only, at the external world. Giving up of that wrong notion of this belongs to me. We find an instance of Janaka Maharaja. Ashtavakra was camping on the outskirts of Mithila, capital of Janaka's kingdom. Janaka was interested in the Atmadhyana, Brahmadhyana. Wherever an opportunity to listen to Vedanta, he used to go there. He got information that Ashtavakra was teaching, and he once went, when he went in between. He didn't sit there. He stood. Because he had not taken the permission of the Guru. He stood, and once that teaching was over, he approached with all humility Ashtavakra. May I attend thee? He said, yes, certainly. And he was attending. Janaka, being the emperor, got many responsibilities, duties. As a result, at times he was late. And in course of time, the other disciples found that unless Janaka comes, Ashtavakra doesn't start the teaching. They started imagining everything. What is that? See, great Mahatma, Vairagi, waits until the king comes because king has a big purse. This was going on among the disciples. Ashtavakra was aware of it, but he kept quiet. On the contrary, at times, they will ask, hey, see, if Janaka is coming or not. Is he seen anywhere? Like that. And he was waiting for him. One day, Ashtaka thought of teaching his disciples a lesson. Janaka had come, sitting there, and the discourse was in full swing. At that time, Ashtaka, by his yogic power, created a scene wherein these participants can see that Mithila Nagari, the city of Mithila, is on fire. Boulders of smokes are emerging. The disciples saw it, and slowly they deserted the discourse and went to the city to protect or rescue their properties. Whereas here, Janaka was so much engrossed in the teaching. Teaching was going on, and these people are going, deserting. And you will see. After some time, Ashtavakra asked Janaka, hey Janaka, what are you doing here? See, your Mithila is on fire. Janaka saw it. True. Mithila was on fire. But Janaka was totally unconcerned. He said, Yasya me chasi sarvatra, yasya me nasti kinchana, mithilayam pradiptayam, name kinchana dahyati. O Guru, I am the one to whom all Srishti belongs. All Srishti is superimposed on me, just Yasya me chasi sarvatra. Me, belonging to me. Everything is there. Without me, they can't exist. From the world standpoint, Yasya me nasti kinchana. I am the one in reality. Nothing belongs to me. Because me, the Chaitanya alone, Atma Swarupa, Brahma Swarupa alone exists. In me, there is no Srishti at all. Leave alone anything belonging to me. Then, Yasya me nasti kinchana. Nothing belongs to me. And therefore it says, Mithilaya Pradiptaya. Now you are talking of Mithila city. If the Mithila is burned, Name Kinchana Dayati. Nothing of mine gets burned. This vision, because of rootedness in the Atma Swarupa. whereas others also were listening, but their mind where was the world outside. By the time they returned, because there was nothing, and they came to know what Janaka had said. Then they understood why Ashtakara was waiting for him. He was the only fit disciple, Uttam Adhikari. He had that disposition. So there will be the case is sannyasa, the antara sannyasa, the very core of sannyasa is giving up of mindness, mamatva. And mind you, this mindness, mamatva, is born of I-ness in the body, ankara. First, you take the body as I, and whatever that belongs to body as mind. So knock down this wrong notion. So that is what sannyasa here, first foremost is antara sannyasa, the baya sannyasa, characterized by like wearing ochre robes, shaving the head, etc. This is secondary. What necessary is antara sannyasa. If that is not there, this knowledge will not work. There it is said in some smriti, it is said, Manusmriti, Nalingam dharma karanam, external linga, external sign, mark by itself is not the cause of or is not the means of dharma. Of course, it has got its own role, but the main thing is antara sannyasa. So here, kalinga tapas, the jnana not supplemented by antara sannyasa. Why sannyasa depends on the context. All may not be able to take to. For example, Janaka himself, Janaka was a perfect sannyasi, and yet he didn't take sannyasa because his guru said so. Guru said, no, you can't take sannyasa. You have to administer the kingdom. And he abided by Guru's instruction. But truly speaking, here that antara sannyasa is a pakka sannyasi. So this knowledge without this sannyasa, giving up, is not going to work. So therefore, by these means, etaihi upayai yayatati, the person yatate puts forth effort. By these means, what are those means? As I seen, bala, apramad, those means are bala, the strength wherein based on this pursuit of withdrawal from the Vishayas, one can totally preoccupy the mind in this pursuit. Then apramada, not allowing the mind to get distracted in the Vishayas. And tapas, which has got linga sannyas. By this means, yahatu vidwan yatate, pursues the efforts to gain Atma Jnana with firm commitment. What is that? Vivrunote, earlier mantra. That Vidwan to begin with, Viveki, Atmanatma Viveki. Finally, Atmavit. When it's gone, the Atma Jnana. Tasya eshaha Atma. To him, this Atma belongs. Vishate Brahma Dhama. And that is Atma. Literally enters the abode of Brahma. What is this? Entering abode of Brahma. Dhama means abode. Brahma itself is Dhama. Vishate enters. What is it? Means in the state of Brahmatmaikya Sthiti. He is the one who has discovered my Atma Sarupa, my true nature is Brahma Sarupa. That is figuratively said, he has entered the abode of Brahma. So how a jnani becomes a Brahma Sarupa is now being described. Jnaninaha Brahma Bhava. How jnani becomes Brahma itself is being now described. Samprapyainam Rishaya Jnanatriptaha Kritatmanaha Vitaragaha Prashantaha Te Sarvagam Sarvatah Prapya Dhiraha Yuktatmana Sarvam Eva Avishanti. So how do they enter Brahma? How do they become Brahma? Is being described. Who are these people? Who are Rishayaha, Rishis. The moment we hear this word Rishi, what comes in our mind? With bearded person, Bhasma, Vibhuti, etc. Matted locks, sitting under a tree. That is in the Puranas and Filmi Dunya. Who is Rishi? Rishanti, Jananti, iti Rishi. Those who have got Atma Jnana are Rishis. Rishanti is Jnananti. They know Atma Sarupa. Rish also means Atanti, Rishanti, Atanti. Those who are always on the move, wandering. as sannyasis. Sannyasis are supposed to be parivrajakas. Always the move as such. So they are means they may be jnanis or they may not be jnanis, but though not jnanis, totally committed to this pursuit. The result of sannyasa, they are all the move. They are rishis. Now here, rishis means those who have discovered the Atma Swarupa. How? Sakshad Aham Asmi. This Paramanda Rupa Chaitanya is my Swarupa, which they have no experience directly. As a result, they are aware of what in reality they are. In contrast to the present 24/7 experience as a samsari, sorrow-ridden jiva, the individual. They have discovered Paramananda Swarup. So such were called as darshanavanta. They got such Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana. Enam samprapya. Enam Atmanam samprapya. Having gained in the sense, having discovered this Atma to be our Swarupa. As a result, Jnana Triptaha. They are content by this Jnana and not by any material gain required for one's body. For an individual, whatever things from the world are required, not that acquisition. Because that for a common man, that's the means of contentment. You get what you get what you want, and you are happy about it. Not that. So here is that by jnanena tripta. Atma jnana, Brahma jnana, they are content because there is nothing else that need to be gained at all. Paramanda Swarupa. There is nothing that they can lose hereafter. Because it is Swarupa, never subject to destruction. So as a result, they are what? Triptaha. And thereby they are Kritatmanaha. This phrase has come earlier in the mantra 3-2-2. Literally it means those who have made or produced Atma, which is not possible, Atma being what it is. Atma is not a thing to be produced. They say here it means having discovered the true nature of Atma in contrast to what wrong notion we had about it as a samsari jiva. Who accomplished Atma means who have gained the true knowledge of Atma, Kritatma. Elsewhere, Kritatma is defined the other way, where Atma is taken antakarana. Those who have got a well-prepared antakarana mind. But here it is those who have discovered the Atma Swarupa, Krutatmana. As a result of that, they are what? Vitaraga. Those from whom Raga, Vishayasakti, Vishayapriti, that love for sense objects, sense pleasure is what dropped down. Vitaragadi dosha. Raga, Kama, Krodha, Mada, Matsara, continues. So with the dosha, as a result, Prashanta, the senses are withdrawn from sense objects and sense pleasure. Uparata Indriya Grama, whose Indriyas, Jnanendriyas and Karmendriyas have withdrawn from their usual pursuit of running after the sense object Vishya. Prashanta, those people, as described as Jnanatruptaha Rishayaha, Kritatmanaha, Vitaragaha, Prashanta, these people. Prapya, having gained what? Sarvagam Sarvataha, that all pervasive principle, Sarvagam, Sarvyapi, Sarvataha. Sarvataha is Sarvatra, everywhere, in and through everything. Prapya means, what it means is, having gained means, that Atma, a Chaitanya, is not confined to this body only. That Chaitanya is Sarvyapi, all pervasive. On the contrary, the Srishti, Jagat creation, abides in Chaitanya. Recently we have seen in the other class. We say Atma is in us. We say us, me, who, body. But truly speaking, the body is in Atma, all pervasive nature. And yet we say in Atma, in us because our body provides a place where manifest Atma is available for our cognition. Light is everywhere, but it manifests in a smooth surface like mirror. So, Chaitanya Sarupa Atma Brahma is everywhere, but its manifestation is available to us for direct cognition in this body which houses, wherein it is there. What is there? Antakarana is there. This Antakarana made up of vrittis, thoughts, is the place where Chit Swarupa gets reflected. As a result, the Antakarana, the vrittis thought, appear to be sentient in nature, aglow with Chaitanya. there one can find out. But this manifestation is limited by antakarana. Chaitanya Atma available in antakarana mind. But we are talking of the Atma everywhere, in which mind abides, antakarana abides. Therefore, that is prapya, means not as something in this world, as the one which is all pervasive in nature. And these people now who are dhiraha, atyanta vivekina. Dhira means bold, etc. But other meaning of dhira is dhiyam rati dhira. One who makes the good and proper use of buddhi, dhi. It can be only the person who has got atma jnana, brahma jnana, because that is the only knowledge which is most exalted in nature. So the dhira, yuktatmana, whose mind is always yukta, samahita, absorbed in Brahma Sarup. Atmana means antakarana, whose antakarana is always absorbed in the Brahma Sarupa. Sarvam eva avishanti. Avishanti. They gain, they enter. What? Sarvam. What is Sarvam? Sarvam is only Brahma. So they enter, literally enter Brahma, means they discover a Brahma Sarupa after death. Here while living and also after the death, wherein their body, the locus of their body, the Suksharira, gets disintegrated. What remains is Chaitanya and Chaitanya Sarupa Atma, Brahma only. Avishanti. They mean that is what are told as Brahma Pravishanti, Brahma Dhama Pravishanti. They enter the abode of Brahma. Please continue. Om.
स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।